celebrity restaurants in town, like the burger joint. What about Donnie Most? What can you tell me about his burger order? Remember what he had?
I don't remember the names, you know.
Okay. You know Mason Reese, though. He still comes in, right?
I told you I don't remember the names.
Notice you had photos of our president, Ronald Reagan. Has he ever been in here?
No, he hasn't been in here yet.
Frederick Seldman, better known as the Mattress King. Is there a Mattress Queen?
Yes, there is. There are also 2 princes.
Lumber Boys, very popular Saturday morning kids program. Henry, you're one of the Lumber Boys. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you since you've been with the company?
Last week, my boss used that high-low to take off some particle board off that same identical truck, and the particle board came off into the street. My boss went up in the air and came down.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. He had a little hemorrhoid problem, but he made it all right. Yeah.
And you're proud to be one of these Lumber Boys?
No comment.
Okay, Richard, tell us about this one. The fabulous suction will lift bowling ball.
There it is. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Excuse me, sir. Are you here to see the world's largest humidor?
Largest what?
World's largest humidor. Have you ever seen the world's largest humidor?
No, I haven't.
Any interest in that?
None whatsoever.
So this was the world's largest humidor.
Temperature's always here at an even level, between 68 and 70. Never goes anything below and never goes above. Cigars can last in here, I would say roughly maybe 40, 50 years.
Also be a good climate for a vacation.
George, we have here the home salad bar.
We process them in a vinegar salt solution until there's no more live material in it. It has become already an inert object. Then you add on the flavor and you slice it.
And so all of these things are actually inert objects to which flavor has been added.
You have put it beautifully.
How many donuts a day should a person eat?
About 115,000 a day.
And is there a better time of the day to eat a donut? When's the best time?
The best time is Wednesday and Friday.
Wednesday and Friday. Happy's parking lot. The happiest parking lot in town. You happy?
No, I'm Eddie.
If you're Eddie and this is Happy's parking lot, where is Happy?
Happy's about 6 feet under. He died about 10 years ago.
The name of the store is Just Bulbs, and that's exactly what we sell, just bulbs.
Okay, so besides bulbs, what do you have here?
Nothing.
How about shades? Could you get shades here?
No, we are just bulbs. If you want shades, maybe go to a place called Just Shades.
We sell nothing but discount prices.
What is the name of the store?
Just Shades.
And what can you get in here?
What can you get in here? Only shades. That's why our name is Just Shades.
But seriously, what can you get besides shades here? How much pizza do you think people ought to eat in the course of a week?
A week, about 600.
600 pies a week? Now a chance to meet a man who is just as famous in this country as he is, of course, in the Orient. Your friend and mine, Mr. Eggroll. What's a typical day like for Mr. Eggroll?
Thursday, Friday, like paydays.
And
shopping days, like holidays, Easter, Christmas Day.
Okay, well, good luck to you and Mrs. Eggroll and the young Eggroll children, and congratulations.
Some of the members of New York's celebrated royal families who've been on the show are now arriving. Well, here's Mr. Mo Greengrass, the Sturgeon King, and his lovely wife, Shirley, the Sturgeon Queen. Good evening. Good to see you here tonight. And here's Mr. Frederick Seldman, the Mattress King. How are you, Fred? Nice to see you. Excuse me, Fred, I mean your Royal Highness, but how do you feel about the big anniversary party tonight?
I think it's wonderful. It's a great show, and I'm glad I'm here.
Could you tell us, having been on the show, how it affected your life?
It certainly did. We had calls from all over the country telling me that they enjoyed the show and seeing me on it.
Great. And now, back to you, David.
You get the feeling something dangerous is going to happen down there, don't you? Coming up in this next half hour, Mr. Robert Klein will be here, and we'll be looking at some memorable moments from Stupid Pet Tricks. Also, the godfather of soul, James Brown, and more of this scintillating on-the-scene commentary from Army Archer, co-host of the People's Choice Awards, the voice of Hollywood, and friend of the stars. No point in going to sleep tonight.
Hello, Julie Andrews. This is Larry Melman. Buddy, I'm calling you because we never received an RSVP for the anniversary party. It means respond, s'il vous plaît. We think you should come. There'll be lots of guys at the party, also all you can eat. Well, okay, fine. There'll just be more food for us. That's it, she's finished.
Plenty of stuff coming on later tonight. A chat with Larry Bud Melman, Stupid Petrix, James Brown, and my first guest has been with us many times over the past year, a very good friend. He'll be appearing in concert on February 7th at the Saddle Rock in San Jose, California. Please give him a warm welcome, Mr. Robert Klein.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Very nice to see you. Thank you very much for being here. You always come on a festive evening, don't you?
Well, it seems that I do. And usually an animal in attendance, as there is tonight.
Yeah.
There's always a poodle in the halls of NBC during the Letterman show, walking on its hind legs with wearing jeans. I'm very excited about the anniversary. I'm happy for the success of the show, so my mother always taught me to bring something.
That's very thoughtful.
There's a couple of hamantash, and you could always use milk. You know, you never... You may run out.
Oh, that's
you know?
very nice. A quart of milk.
Because a lot of people don't like cream with their coffee.
No,
you know,
that's great. Can we open this or just save it?
I will save it.
All right,
you know,
I'll put it over here.
It's nice. There's a prune Danish in there. It gets caught in your teeth, and you have to search for it.
This is interesting. The pressure is kind of on James Brown to come up with something now, isn't there? In the way of a gift. The last...
He may not be bringing something from the bakery. We're different traditions, you know. He will bring his talent. He's a lovely man, too. And he still has a voice, actually, after that. You know, you do that for a living. You talk like Andy Devine quicker than you can say Jack Robinson.
It's very exciting. The last time you were here, Robert, you were a little depressed. Remember that?
I was. I actually showed. I saw the tape later. I was a little depressed.
And you want to tell the folks why?
Well, I was talking. My wife was going away for 4 months to Europe to sing in the opera. Mm-hmm. And I went to Paris a couple of times and saw... I mean, there's no toilet paper backstage at the Paris Opera. Can you possibly believe that? I saw these huge $5,000 a night international stars walking around with toilet paper under their arm. I said, this is the chintziest. I mean, I have a couple of Holiday Inn towels I'd like to give back as soon as there's an amnesty, you know. But I mean, from my early days. But stealing toilet paper, I found no, they're bringing toilet paper because there is none.
Oh, I see.
It's a company policy. Why I brought that up first, I think it symbolizes the disadvantages of American artists abroad. In any case, I was left alone. Brenda came home for a very brief moment before going on to San Diego to do Henry VIII. And one of the disadvantages when you're away from your spouse of 10 years for a long time is I went to go to sleep. She went to sleep first. She was exhausted coming from Europe. I went into my own bed. She went, concierge, poliziano. She wasn't used to anyone else in the bedroom.
Well, that's, I guess, a good sign, huh?
Come to think of it. Very good sign, but it is one of the disadvantages. I stayed up a little while longer, and I didn't, even though she was sleeping, I said, coming in, husband, making an appearance.
How do you get along in metropolitan Paris? You're pretty well versed in transportation, public transportation, subways, cabs, so forth?
It's very tough. Got lost in the metro and the subway, you know, and I was begging for a nice Frenchman who might remember D-Day and help a couple of Yanks. I heard a blues singer. I couldn't find anyone that spoke English. We were totally lost in the belly of Paris there. And I heard, got my blue on my shoulder, no voice. You know, blind Lemon Jefferson. I run over, it's a young guy, and he's playing. I put a buck in his, or a few francs in his case there. I said, can you tell us where to go? He goes, okay. He's a Frenchman, you know. He memorized all the blues stuff by rote. He didn't know how to go. No, I mean, all kinds of things about being involved abroad when you are reduced to a child, really. Money becomes something you don't know. You have to take time to memorize. Medium-sized queen's head, a large castle, you know. And paid $15 for a bar of soap.
That's where the cab ride in from the airport is something like 160, whatever the currency is, would be francs, and you're busily checking to see if you can cover them.
Well, I had a nice man in Paris. He took me from the Charles de Gaulle airport to the central city by way of Ogden, Utah. Nice guy.
How many times have you been here on this extravaganza in the past?
I think my appearances this year were 4. You know, you think about your anniversary. This is my 5th, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
How many children were conceived during the David Letterman show in the past year?
Well, in the studio audience alone, I know, talking a couple of dozen at least, happened.
You know, how many people are scratching themselves, brushing their teeth? How many people had arguments? How many people knew the marriage was over during the David Letterman show? You know, or knew good things. My television in the house when I was a kid was always on in the evening hours. And I remember certain emotional traumas by what was on. My parents had this terrible fight when I was 11, and they made an appearance on the show, too.
That's right.
They just had their
Robert
50th anniversary.
Yeah.
I thought, uh-oh, it's over. They had a terrible fight. And I remember I've Got a Secret was on. And the woman's secret was she had 21 children. And afterwards, they gave her a washer. But how many... You know what else I missed? You weren't at the Super Bowl on the sidelines there. All the NBC stars were there.
That's right. All the NBC stars were there. That's right.
David, I was furious at it. After a nice, dignified Xerox commercial that cost $5 billion, and Xerox, and you go, the A-Team wants you! We don't want no stupid, you know. And it's like... you know, I mean, it's a good image for America, too. I think the combination of he and Richard Simmons is just what you want your children to grow up to. They ought to be a police team, possibly. But we have some highlights from the year, don't we?
Well, take a look at the screen there, Robert. Tell us.
That was
my
your
first
dog.
One.
There's Moisha, my dog, in the back there.
This is your very first one, right?
And I wore my overcoat. And then Moisha couldn't come, so I brought a leash with no dog in it. And the joke worked better this time than then.
It did, didn't it, somehow?
Then there was my bathrobe. You see, I live so close by, as you know.
That's right.
That I came in my bathrobe.
This was the night of the marching band.
And I brought, and I usually have milk and cookies before I go to sleep. You gave me milk and cookies. They were Lorna Doones, however. And they got caught. I had a search. So the Lord, you know, I spent...
Well, this is
nice.
nice.
I always was dignified. One thing I was on the show was dignified.
That's right.
You know, I never made faces or anything special. I don't know why these were selected, but they're out of context. There was a hygiene thing, Dr. Frank Field, ear care. You know,
that's right.
Came on. There's one, I bought a Toyota or something. I don't know, I jumped up.
What's this now?
I had to bring my own chair. Do you remember that night?
That's right. Something happened. Our chair was...
Well, the captain was on. That was my bar mitzvah picture, which we had on. The highlights of the bar mitzvah were the Jell-O.
Yep.
A chopped liver mold with in the form of a chicken.
Sparrows.
And the herring Ferris wheel, my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that one? That was the highlight of the year. And smoking a cigar and then ran away from my father. That was the dots at the end of my home movies. That most of them were dots, you know. That was I was talking about ants and how they paint your cheek.
You have something. You're always touching your face, aren't you?
Oh, a band came.
That's right, the marching
band. Do you remember that time? We were in the middle of talking, and they surprised David and myself by having a marching band come through, and the joke worked not too well, but it was taking a chance.
That's right, and we have...
You know, one thing I must say, the David Letterman show takes a chance. Smacked him right in the face. He had hit me, and then I smacked David right back.
Oh, here we are, yeah.
We're actually live.
Yeah, we certainly do...
No, but I had a wonderful time, and you're a real... you know how to do this extremely well, and I try to help you as much as I can.
You're always welcome to help. In fact, that goes for anyone in America who thinks they can help. Just stop on by. You're going to be going to San Jose and then other interesting venues?
Oh, lots of colleges, and I'll be around.
Well, I appreciate
I'm going to go to the party now.
Oh, yeah.
I was always hoping to leave early, like Bob Hope, you know? But I have to wait till I'm older. You know?
Okay. Please stick around for the party, and thank you for all your help over the past year. Mr. Robert Klein, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Klein.